Okay, on 1.2, some people had some trouble with 15. We're supposed to find the domain for this. Well, first of all, we can't divide by 0. So if x was 4, 4 minus 4 would be 0. So x cannot equal 4. That would cause division by 0. And then we can't take the square root of negatives. So x plus 4 has to be greater than or equal to 0. And if I subtract 4 from both sides, I have x has to be greater than or equal to negative 4. So if I think of the number line, negative 4, we have to be bigger than negative 4, but we can't equal 4. So we can be from negative 4, including negative 4, up to 4, positive 4, but not including it, union all the numbers past 4. Not including 4, but on. That's the domain for that. And then some people had trouble graphing this. And that partially because they were a little bit sloppy. So y values are equal to negative 3. So y equals negative 1, negative 2. Y is negative 3 here. But y is also negative 3 there, and negative 3 there, and negative 3 there. Y is negative 3 all along there. The window we get to do this in is from x equal minus 2 equal to it and less than it. So in this window, what we get is this line, and we get to do the edge, so it's a solid dot there. Now this says y equals x minus 1. Now, you might remember that that's the y-intercept and the slope is 1. But if you don't, you can also plug in numbers. If I put in negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Negative 2, negative 3. Well, that's where this one was. Now, we don't use this to figure out for negative 2. We use this. And this said use negative 3. So we're going to use negative 3 at negative 2, even though this one doesn't say do negative 2 at negative 3. But if you put in negative 2, you get negative 3. If you put in negative 1, you get negative 2. If you put in 0, you get negative 1, and so on. We got a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of negative 1, and it keeps going up 1 for 1 until we get to 2. So at 2, it should be up 1, and we get to include this in, so we put a solid dot on that in. After that, we want where the y-coordinate is 0 from above 2. Well, y-coordinates are 0 all along here, but we don't get to use the edge of the window for this line. We use it on this line. Here's where a lot of people didn't notice that y is equal to negative 3 in this at negative 2, and y is negative 3 on this one at negative 2. We don't use this one, but we do use that one. They connect there, and we get to use that point because it says so here. Even though it says don't look at this for negative 2, this one says what to do at negative 2, use that dot.